welcome to the 2020 TIVA Virtual Summer Conference. Let's kick things off by introducing your Board of Directors. Israel Cortez is an advanced automotive technology teacher from Socorro ISD in El Paso, Texas. He has over 14 years of teaching experience. During his spare time, he enjoys spending quality time with family and his two rat terriers, Paco and Gali. From District 1, Israel Cortez. Ray Rangel is a building trades teacher in his 24th year of teaching. He splits his time between two campuses. His inspiration to teach comes from his 4 sons, 2 of whom graduated before he entered teaching. Ray aspires to make a difference with other people's kids' lives, and he truly believes that there are no rules that teachers and students cannot become lifelong friends. He still preaches that success is an attitude of service that can be applied to any situation, and that charity begins at home, then spreads in any direction. One of those directions for Ray has developed from his several terms as TIVA District 2 Director. From District 2, Ray Rangel. Shannon Gray is a 6th-year teacher at the Advanced Technology Center in Lubbock, Texas. He worked in the machine and automated manufacturing industry for over 30 years before becoming an educator. He never thought that those hot and cold, miserable shops would lead to a career in teaching as his new craft. Shannon feels that it is a privilege to pass the torch and inspire the next generation of machinists. From District 3, Shannon Gray. Olin Harrington is a retired automotive service technology teacher from Birdville ISD. Olin has served on the TIVA board as the District 4 Director and as the TIVA President. Olin is currently working on building his own country store in Gorman, Texas. Stop by, get a haircut, and something cool to drink. From District 4, Olin Harrington. Ken Nicholson is in his 28th year of teaching. Out of those 28 years, 22 were spent teaching high school agriculture and running an FFA program. He pursued his IT certification to broaden his teaching opportunities and found his way to welding. He's had the privilege of being a welding instructor at Wiley High School for the past 6 years and really likes it. From District 5, Ken Nicholson. Justin Harper has been a police officer for over 26 years and currently works for the Blue Mountain Police Department as a reserve police officer. He started his teaching career in middle school as a history teacher and coach. He loved building students up to be better at what they loved. Then he learned about CTE and fell in love with being able to teach something that was his true passion, law enforcement. Now he's been a teacher for 18 years. From District 6, Justin Harper. Jan Holland teaches cosmetology in the oldest town in Texas, Nacogdoches. She's been a teacher for 8+ years and a salon owner for 25 years before that. She has been married for 31 years, has 2 children, 5 grandkids, and another one on the way. She is active with TDLR, SIPS, TIVA, ACT, and Skills USA. She loves advocating for her fellow cosmetology teachers as the SIPS president and staying up to date with TDLR. One of her favorite things is professional development. She loves to continue to learn for herself and her students. One of the proudest professional moments is representing TIVA for the 2020 CTE Teacher of the Year for Texas. From District 7, Jan Holland. Jay Rankin is a CNC machining teacher from Blanson CTE High School. He has been teaching for 8 years and has been a TIVA member for each of those 8 years. In his spare time, he cooks on the award-winning barbecue team. From District 8, Jay Rankin. Christy Fort grew up down the road from NASA Johnson Space Center in an area known as the Bay Area, a community between Houston and Galveston. She is a Clear Creek ISD graduate and now works for CCISD. She had taught cosmetology for 4 years at the college level, before becoming a certified Texas teacher in 2009 when she opened the Clear Creek ISD cosmetology program. She met her husband in 1990 while working at Walmart, and it was love at first sight. From District 9, Christy Forrett. Your District 10 Director, Lamisha Stinson, a cosmetology instructor from Killeen Career Center, past TIVA Secretary Treasurer and President, past ILS President, and current SIPS Treasurer, would like to congratulate you on the change you have made during the pandemic. We know that it can be hard, but we are all bringing a lesson from it. We have, or are, C, converting our personal teaching and students' learning style to make all parties successful. H, hard-pressed to engage the students in every way possible. A, adjusted as fast as possible to make sure we are serving our young professionals. N, naturalizing quickly the modification put before us. G, goals were achieved even when stumbling blocks were put before us. E, evolved people around us seeing why we are a part of this great organization. Change keeps TIVA and you flexible, knowledgeable, and lifelong learners. From District 10, Lamisha Stinson. Rebecca Soto is a criminal justice teacher at Foy H. Moody High School in Corpus Christi, Texas. She was born and raised in Laredo, Texas by a Spaniard grandfather and Native American grandmother. She is married to a Corpus Christi ISD police officer and has 2 adult daughters who were active and successful participants in Skills USA. Mrs. Soto has a vast experience within the criminal justice field. She has served as a detention officer, law enforcement officer, United States Marshal, and municipal judge. From District 12, Rebecca Soto. Paul Hernandez has served his community at San Benito High School in San Benito, Texas for the past 19 years, sharing his knowledge in computer animation and commercial photography with 10th, 11th, and 12th grade students. Before serving the students of San Benito, he worked as a graphic artist for Sunburst Media and as a webmaster for different entities. Mr. Hernandez was diagnosed in 2015 and has survived stage 2 thyroid cancer. He is currently fighting thyroid cancer and surviving on a daily basis. He encourages everyone to be proactive and to get their neck checked. Having cancer has not stopped Mr. Hernandez from working as hard as he can to help his community. Currently, Mr. Hernandez serves as a student organization sponsor for Skills USA and the National Technical Honor Society. He is the vice president for the Texas State Teachers Association San Benito Local. He is also the parent-teacher organization president for Dr. Cash Elementary, sits on the Superintendent's Advisory Council, and is also the department chairman for the Career and Technical Education Department at San Benito High School. From District 13, Paul Hernandez. Katie George is the Director of Educational Services at CareerSafe Online, a company dedicated to making the nation's young workers safer by investing time and resources into developing innovative, informative, low-cost online safety training that prepares young workers for the potential hazards of a job site. Katie has been with CareerSafe for nearly 14 years. She currently oversees national sales and marketing and product development for CareerSafe. Though her leadership in the organization continually expands its mission across the nation, now having trained over 1.5 million students. As a champion of CTE, Katie currently serves on the TIVA Board of Directors, Skills USA Alumni and Friends Board of Directors, sits on the USDA National Steering Committee, FCCLA National Industry Advisory Council, and participates in the National Skills USA Foundation Board. From CareerSafe, Katie George. Mark Johnson grew up in a mid-sized Midwest town at a school that did not offer any vocational education, as it was referred to in the 80s. Somehow, he still ended up at a company that only develops and sells CTE curriculum. He met Dr. Davis, owner of CEV Multimedia, in 2003, and by 2006, he had several retired CTE teachers working with him in the field. Between working with CTE teachers on a daily basis to provide training and working directly with the retired teachers that had joined his team, he gained an appreciation for the job these teachers do every day, and it wasn't long before he understood what he had missed out on in his high school days. Fast forward to 2020, and it's clear to Mark that CTE teachers have the best programs in the school and are strongest teachers in the classrooms. They go so much further than just being teachers in a content area. This is hands-on, real-life experience for young minds and very powerful. This experience and what he's learned about CTE empowered him to make sure his children were able to enroll in CTE classes in high school and have the opportunity that he missed out on. From ICEV, Mark Johnson. Assistant to the Executive Director, Harry Ferguson never stops when it comes to TIVA. Harry volunteered for TIVA over 20 years ago, giving up his summer vacation time, and finally we just hired him. He always has his phone near him because one of his teachers might need something. Many of you have called him late at night and on the weekends, and he always answers those calls. He may be an OU fan, but we love him unconditionally. Thank you, Harry, for all you do for TIVA and your teachers. Diana Ferguson has been a part of CTE over half of her life. Starting as a student, working in the industry, going on to teach for 28 years, and now, after retiring from education, she serves as your executive director for TIVA. I guess you could say her life involves around the educators and students of CTE. She has helped move this organization into the ever-evolving future that we all face today, and she has become committed to pushing the boundaries of excellence for our organization. Our executive director, Diana Ferguson. Raymond Banner graduated from Texas State University and is certified in trades and industrial technology. He has been a building maintenance instructor at San Angelo Central High School since 2001. He is a member of TIVA, Skills USA, ACTE, TCCIA, and ILS. Raymond has served as the president of Iota Lambda Sigma and president of TCCIA. Raymond has been involved with Skills USA since 2005 and has served as the Skills USA Texas District 2 Director since 2014, as well as the TIVA Director for District 2. Your TIVA Secretary-Treasurer, Raymond Banner. Brandon Grace has been teaching at the Byron Martin Advanced Technology Center in Lubbock, Texas for the past 8 years. During his time at the ATC, Brandon has taught computer maintenance, networking, computer technician, photography, and audio-video production. Other positions Brandon has held through his years of teaching are Campus Technology Leader, Skills USA Texas District 3 Director, and Secretary-Treasurer for the Texas Industrial Vocational Association. Brandon's dedication to his students and to career and technical education has led him to become a true advocate for CTE programs in Texas and the nation. Because of his work and dedication as the Secretary-Treasurer for TIVA, Brandon will continue to push the organization forward and make it grow through the use of traditional methods and technology. Your TIVA President-elect, Brandon Grace. Brenda Drawdy is a 47-year veteran of education in the career and technology field, who brings escapades of leadership to the classroom. Brenda has served on the TIVA Executive Board for the past 8 years as Secretary-Treasurer, President-elect, President, and is currently your past President. She has served on the Skills USA Board of Directors for 7 years and has worked closely as a liaison with both organizations. Brenda is passionate about TIVA and the interest of the career and technology educators of Texas. Through her outgoing and friendly personality, along with her determination to represent teachers to the fullest, Brenda's favorite accomplishment as your state president was the unification of TIVA with ACTE, our national organization. Your past president, Brenda Drawdy. Bart Taylor is a dedicated educator with over 20 years of experience in the field of career and technical education. He offers a proven track record of commended performance in teaching and leadership, with a passion for education and commitment to continually pursuing student, school, and community success. His experience includes classroom and university teaching, motivational speaking, district curriculum and instructional coaching, high school webpage administration, TIVA board member, E2IT3 president, Robotics Engineering Club head sponsor, and is currently the Skills USA Texas District Coordinator. Bart Taylor graduated from Texas A&M University with a doctorate in curriculum and instruction in the Department of Teaching, Learning, and Culture in the College of Education, with an area of focus to include career and technology education, career and technology student organizations, and educational technology. While teaching high school, his information technology program was rated as the top IT program in the nation by Advanced CTE, and his Skills USA chapter was rated as one of the top chapters in the Models of Excellence programs for 4 years. Your TIVA President, Dr. Bart Taylor.
On behalf of the Texas Industrial Vocational Association Board of Directors, I would like to welcome you to the 2020 TIVA Virtual Summer Professional Development Conference, hosted live via the internet, here in your home office, maybe your couch, maybe a futon, but all while in your beautiful, fun, and safe homes. Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Diana, would you please lead us in an invocation?
Please bow your heads with me. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, I come to you as a representative of this group of people, and I am asking you, dear Heavenly Father, please be with our country, be with the world, be with what's going on right now and the uncertainty that we are going through, dear Heavenly Father. Just wrap your loving arms around us, dear Heavenly Father. Help us with this virtual conference that we've worked so hard to get out to our members, dear Heavenly Father, and I ask you to be with each and every one of them and keep them safe. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for your many, many blessings. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Thank you, Diana. As much as we had hoped, and we wanted to be together with you right now, we are thankful for the opportunity to still bring you the quality professional development training that you have come to expect from TIVA, but from a safe distance. I would like to take the time to recognize those who have been impacted by COVID-19. For those of you that have lost loved ones, we empathize with you. To the workforce in our healthcare services, restaurant and hotel services, small businesses, and anyone on the front lines of this pandemic, we thank you. Thank you for stepping up so we can stay safe at home. As you, our CTE educators, prepare for the uncertainties that we will face this upcoming school year, please know that TIVA will be with you every step of the way. You will need to be a leader, now more than ever, as you challenge yourself to the new technology innovations and make sure always to wear that smile. It'll be your attitude that will steer our students towards hope and success in a new school normal. There's no doubt that this conference will be one to remember. Normally, the TIVA Summer Conference would host over 200 sessions from over 60 quality presenters that typically have over 15,000 combined years of experience. This conference may not have the direct hands-on sessions, however, the quality of the sessions will be the best that they have ever been. I would like to introduce one of our opening session sponsors, ICEV, and the representative, Mark Johnson. ICEV is one of our industrial partners that serves on our board, and Mark Johnson brings with him a wealth of knowledge, expertise, and a passion for supporting career and technical education. Please welcome Mark Johnson from ICEV.
Because of you, students are performing better in their core classes.
Students are less likely to drop out of high school.
Because of you, students are learning to overcome challenges.
Students have more real-world learning opportunities.
Because of you, students are more satisfied with their education.
Because of you, students are more likely to graduate.
Students are more likely to enroll in higher education.
Because of you, students are exposed to a wide range of career options.
Because of you, I am more confident.
Because of you, I now look forward to coming to school.
I have a plan for my future.
I found something I'm good at.
Because of you, I'm a better employee.
I'm more prepared for the journey ahead.
Because of you, I want to work in cybersecurity.
Because of you, I want to be a police officer.
I want to become a neurosurgeon.
Because of you, I'm pursuing a career in agriculture.
I want to be a computer programmer.
I want to be a teacher.
Because of you, I want to become a mechanical engineer.
Thank you, Mark. We appreciate all that you do. And if you haven't noticed, we're kind of mixing up a little bit of video with some live feeds because we have IT people and some AV people. So we're trying to do the best that we can to bring you something new and something innovative. But please welcome our next opening session sponsor, CareerSafe. CareerSafe and their superstar representative, Katie George. I don't use the adjective superstar lightly. Katie is one of the most talented, fierce, and insightful persons that I'm blessed to know, and her dedication and commitment to education of our students is unmatched. Please welcome Katie George from CareerSafe.
CareerSafe wants to be more than just a vendor. We want to be a valuable partner, helping your students on their path to success. Not only do we want to provide your students with training and credentials that will build their resume, but we also want to be a resource and an advocate for your classroom. According to the CDC in 2018, there were approximately 20 million young people entering the workforce under the age of 24. But this does not mean that these young workers are necessarily prepared and able to handle the risks and hazards that can occur in the work environment. Not being knowledgeable of hazards related to a specific job or knowing how to assess and correct a problem can lead to devastating injuries or even death for a worker. Safety training can make workers more conscious of hazards and risks, such as falls, vehicle accidents, overexertion injuries, and workplace violence. Unfortunately, many workplaces offer little to no job-related safety training, which can leave workers and others on the job site unprotected. Based on current statistics, young workers aged 16 to 24 continue to have the highest rates of work-related injuries and illnesses, greater than any other age group. Here at CareerSafe, we are focused on providing young workers with foundational skills for life through safety, health, and security awareness training. We have reached over 1.5 million young workers, but there are millions more that are still at risk, and we are committed to expanding our outreach to ensure that every young worker has the basic knowledge and skills necessary to be safe, healthy, and secure in the workplace.
Thank you, Bart, for that very kind introduction. I just want to echo what Mark had shared with everybody. Here at CareerSafe, we want to be an advocate for you in CTE, and we want to be here to help you and support you in all of the needs that you have. So, as Mark has stated, I'm very proud of what you teachers have been doing, and if there's anything that we can continue to do to help support you, please don't hesitate to reach out and let us know. So thank you so much.
Being a TIVA member means that you have influence in many affiliated groups and organizations, as TIVA is unified with the ACTE, the Association of Career and Technical Education. TIVA members are also members, making you a part of a nationwide voice for CTE. TIVA members are also represented by several trade-specific affiliated groups: AVOTCA, Audiovisual Arts and Communications Association, SIPS, Cosmetology Instructors in Public Schools, CJET Texas, Criminal Justice Educator of Texas, the TAIA, Texas Automotive Instructors Association, the TCCIA, Texas Construction Craft Instructors Association, the ETIT3, or E2IT3, Electronics, Engineering, Information Technology, and STEM, TOTIPS, that's the Teachers of Electrical, Trades, and Technology in Public Schools, and ILS, Iota Lambda Sigma, your trade and industrial professional fraternity, and of course, Skills USA Texas. Please welcome the 2021 Skills USA Texas State Officer Team as they bring words of welcome from Skills USA.
During the mid-1960s, America's economy and society was being shaped by the Vietnam War and the movement for civil rights. Amidst the uncertainty, these events created an increased demand for the trades. Educators from 14 states united to form the Career and Technical Student Organization, now known as Skills USA. Due to its history, Skills USA acknowledges that when challenges arise, teamwork and flexibility allow the organization and its members to overcome the challenges and grow from it.
These essential elements, found in our organization's framework, will help us continue to construct a new generation of world-class workers, leaders, and responsible American citizens, despite a global pandemic. Today, teachers have begun to put these skills to work as they move to new online platforms, all while ensuring that no student is left behind.
As we move forward into the upcoming school year, we recognize the challenges educators have faced in the past and their ability to overcome in the future. As a result, our steps moving forward will be based on the common goal of Skills USA and TIVA, to equip educators with the materials to promote leadership in the knowledge and development of career and technical education.
This goal will be upheld and our resources adapted as we continue this school year and our relationship with TIVA in the future. This past February, when TIVA and Skills USA partnered to send students to the Texas State Capitol to debate on the House floor, no one could have foreseen that our state conference and summer leadership training will be held on the virtual platform.
However, through a learning curve filled with minor technological frustrations, we were able to uphold the tradition of these events with the partnership of our advisors and student leaders. As we work to create interactive activities, we recognize the need for further innovative virtual resources to assist educators in adapting to Skills USA's upcoming events, including competitions, programs, and leadership training.
The user-friendly resources we plan to create and the resources already implemented today can be used in everyday curriculum to make career and technical education and the Skills USA framework more accessible to all students. With these resources, we hope to expand our outreach and achieve new feats. That being said, our partnership with TIVA is so crucial, even virtually. This organization represents the dedication of educators to their students.
Venturing forward into this online conference, not only do we encourage you to learn the essential skills that are being taught at your professional development courses, but also the ins and outs of online instruction. Your time here at the 2020 TIVA Virtual Conference is paramount to moving education forward on a new technological frontier, and for ensuring the growth of Skills USA, its members, and our outreach.
As students, we would like to take a moment to honor our partnership by thanking everyone who's attending this conference for taking the initiative to better yourselves for your students.
Thank you.
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 Thank you for encouraging me to find purpose within myself. Thank you for preaching that self-improvement shouldn't be for the satisfaction of my parents or anyone else, but rather that self-improvement starts with my personal strive to accomplish specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based goals.
Thank you for being a support system when I really needed it. Thank you for not just being my advisor, but for being my mentor, my role model, my inspiration, and pushing me to be the best person I can be. You are the foundation of my growth and a stepping stone to my future, and I couldn't have done it nor been here today without you and your guidance. Thank you so much for putting in the time and dedication to your students, and I want you to know it doesn't go unrecognized.
Thank you for seeing potential in me when I didn't believe in myself. Thank you for introducing me to a world of opportunity and pushing me to embrace it. Thank you for the countless motivational talks, for the hours of training, and for the effort that no one else cared to give. Thanks to teachers like you, students in broken homes have an outlet to success. Once again, with the generosity of 1,000 students, thank you.
Thank you for going above and beyond, not only to prepare me for the classroom, but for the world in my future vocation. Thank you for giving me a home, not only in high school, but a home within my future vocation. Thank you for the opportunities, the feedback, the extra hours of practice, and especially the education you've invested in me and my peers.
I want to say thank you for enabling students like me to be confident going into a competitive trade. This year, I have been able to set realistic career goals that I am passionate about and achieve victories I never could have dreamed of. Although this year may be filled with uncertainties, students will be able to know their worth and potential because of you.
Thank you for always being there for me and helping me through new experiences. Thank you for always cheering me on during my highs and helping me through my lows. Thank you for teaching me that it's important to be a great leader, but it's more important to be a better man. I wouldn't be where I am today without you, so most importantly, thank you for always making me feel like I matter.
Thank you for giving me advice over every aspect of life. Thank you for being there for me on my best days and on my worst days, always prepared with a story to make me smile. But most of all, thank you for believing in me whenever I didn't believe in myself, and for encouraging me to be a better friend, person, and leader.
We know that any of our successes, either in person or online, wouldn't be possible without the support, guidance, and knowledge you as educators provide us with. All of that said, we would like to give you the warmest of welcomes to the 2020 TIVA Summer Professional Development Virtual Conference.
Thank you, Skills USA Texas State officers. We know you will lead the organization through excellence, encouragement, and innovation as we traverse through the school year. I know many of you are missing the sunrise over the Corpus Christi Bay, but the city of Corpus is missing us too. Please welcome Brett Owington from the Corpus Christi Visitors Bureau.
Hello, I'm Brett Ogden, President and CEO of Visit Corpus Christi, and I would like to welcome you to your 2020 Summer Professional Development Virtual Conference. Growing up in Western Kansas, I experienced firsthand how important the trades are to a strong economy, and we're incredibly grateful for the work that you do. As you can see behind me, the weather is in the 80s, the water is feeling great, and we look forward to when you can come and visit us in person. We are ready for you when that time comes. Have a great conference.
At this time, I would like to introduce Christoph Kursiewicz, the General Manager from the Omni Hotel Corpus Christi. Christoph graduated from the New Mexico State University with a bachelor's degree in hospitality and tourism management. He's enjoyed over 20 years in hospitality industry, the last 10 of which have been at the Omni Hotels and Resorts. Christoph has held various positions in the food and beverage and room departments within the company, and in December of 2019 was promoted to general manager of the Omni Austin South Park Hotel. His proven leadership led to his recent promotion to general manager of the Omni Corpus Christi Hotel in March of 2020. Please welcome Christoph Kursiewicz from the Omni Corpus Christi.
Thank you, and welcome to Corpus Christi. Welcome to Omni Corpus Christi Hotel. We are very excited to be able to host you over here, especially in those difficult times. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your long relationship with Omni Hotels, and we hope that we're going to be able to host you again over here in person in the near future. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Christoph. We appreciate all that the Omni does to support TIVA and our members. We would like to welcome Executive Director Leanne Wilson from ACTE to offer their words of welcome.
Greetings. My name is Leanne Wilson, and I'm pleased to welcome you on behalf of the Association for Career and Technical Education, and hope to see you in person soon. As the Executive Director of ACTE, I recognize now more than ever is a crucial time for career and technical education. CTE supports so many facets of our daily lives: access to healthcare, food, transportation, and logistics. We are so grateful to all of the essential workers who continue to be on the front lines of the COVID-19 pandemic. Because of their dedication and your work as CTE educators, opportunities for us to continue important conversations like the ones you will have today are still possible. We also credit CTE as the key to cultivating employability skills, such as learning to collaborate, problem solve, and work as efficiently and effectively as possible. These essential skills that you are instilling in your students as CTE educators are key contributions to our nation's ability to continue to thrive even of the most challenging times. During the COVID-19 pandemic, we have produced and curated several resources to help you navigate distance learning and new ways of delivering education to your students during these uncertain times. Our public policy department continues to track COVID-19 resources, laws, and updates that may be useful for your CTE programs. We also continue to produce a wide variety of webinars covering emerging best practices for CTE programs, students, and educators. Several of these webinars are designed around ACTE's high-quality CTE framework. Others offer more sector-specific information and innovations. We hope you have taken advantage of the CTE Learn course offerings and summer specials. This online network includes 150 plus credit courses to help you gain the professional development you need in this virtual environment. We also partnered with the California Department of Education's Career and College Transition Division, CTEonline.org, and the San Diego County Office of College and Career Readiness to produce 7 publications highlighting sector-specific lesson plans, webinars, and resources to help you with your CTE distance learning needs. ACTE's active Inclusion, Access, Equity, and Diversity Advisory Group continues to seek topics and content for several of our ACTE communication channels and professional development offerings, including Techniques Magazine, our various blogs, event sessions, and more. I encourage you to visit acteonline.org/IAED to get involved with the advisory group and share your ideas. Please visit our website at acteonline.org for these and the latest resources to help you consider the new array of issues in the coming school year. Whether schools open fully using distance learning methods, utilize a blended approach, or remain online, there are significant implications for your CTE programs and students, and we are doing everything we can to help navigate in this new environment. We at ACTE are always looking for new opportunities to tell the next chapter of CTE's story and give our members a voice. We continue to conduct research on our nation's workforce needs, including analysis of growing markets like advanced manufacturing, energy, healthcare, transportation, and more. In addition, ACT is active on social media such as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and has shared our collective message with CTE advocates in new and creative ways through these vehicles. Becoming or remaining an ACTE member is crucial to continued progress in CTE at local, state, and national levels. Our members include educators, administrators, business partners, government leaders, and so many others. As a member, you benefit in many ways, from our advocacy and awareness work to resources like Techniques Magazine, our member insurance programs, our award, and leadership programs, and so much more. Our flagship event is Career Tech Vision, which hosts thousands of educators, industry business professionals from across the country. This premier conference provides you with information-rich sessions on focused CTE topics, engaging keynote speakers, an expo, and an abundance of networking opportunities. We hope you'll join us this December for the opportunity to share your ideas, learn from each other, and make new and lasting connections and friendships. ACTE's networking and professional development resources are designed to help you cultivate a camaraderie with each other that evolves over the entirety of your career. We celebrate and honor you, your work, and the students you impact each and every day. Thank you.
Thank you, Leanne. It is now time to introduce a very important person. This man always puts others first, and he has made an amazing impact in his school, his city, in Skills USA, and within TIVA. Brendan Grace is our current TIVA president-elect. And to simply put it, he is a phenomenal example of what it means to be a teacher. He gives more of himself than what is asked of him, and he does it with great promise and follow-through. Brendan works tirelessly to ensure that TIVA is the best that it can be and upholding our values, and he pushes us all to strive for excellence. He is truly an inspiration to his students and his peers. Please welcome Mr. Brendan Grace.
Thank you. Back in January, we announced the TIVA New Teacher of the Year, Shannon Espedia, the TIVA Outstanding Teacher of the Year, Jan Holland, and the TIVA Lifetime Achievement Award, Brenda Drotti. All three advanced to the Texas Awards. Jan Holland and Brenda Drotti won the Texas Awards and moved up to the Region 4 ACTE Awards. Although Jan was stuck in a closet in the middle of a tornado, she was still able to persevere and take part in her awards interview. However, she did not win that day. Surprising. Brenda Drotti was not in a tornado, but she did capture the hearts of the judges, and we are proud to announce that our very own past president of TIVA, Brenda Drotti, is your ACTE Region 4 Lifetime Achievement Award winner. She will advance to the National ACTE Awards to be announced in December 2020. Good luck, Brenda. All of TIVA, Texas, and Region 4 will be rooting for you.
Thank you, Brandon. The following recognition is very special and one that many of you seasoned TIVA members may not know about. This award is typically presented during the President's Dinner at the end of a normal TIVA conference. Unfortunately, this year there will not be a President's Dinner, but the recipient of this award must still be recognized. The TIVA Shining Star Award is given to a person that the current president, me, finds to encompass those attributes of a true, enlightening, and inspiring new leader. This year, the recipient of the TIVA Shining Star Award goes to a young professional that has demonstrated a true passion for career and technical education and a true commitment to success of this organization. It has been an inspiration to watch her grow in her career, almost as much as an inspiration it was to watch her grow as a student. This year, the TIVA Shining Star Award goes to Mrs. Shannon Espedia from Rudder High School in Bryan, Texas. Congratulations, Shannon. We'll ship this to her. Now, I'd like to recognize two extremely important people in our organization. Harry Ferguson is the man with the plan. He is the assistant to the executive director and never stopped when it comes to TIVA. Harry volunteered for TIVA over 20 years ago and giving up his summer vacation time, and finally, we just hired him. He always has his phone near him because one of my teachers might need something. Many of you have called him at night and on weekends, and he always answers those calls. Thank you, Harry, for all that you do for TIVA and your teachers. And now, our beloved Diana Ferguson, who serves as our Executive Director of TIVA. She has helped move this organization to the ever-evolving and uncertain future that we and our students face. Diana is always thinking about TIVA and what we need to do to help our teachers face the challenges of our students and our classrooms. Together, Diana and Harry work tirelessly for us and this organization. We love you, Diana and Harry. Please welcome Diana Ferguson with her words of welcome and conference information.
Welcome to the new TIVA Innovative Virtual Conference. Wow, isn't this different for us? When the Board of Directors made the decision to cancel the on-site summer conference, it was a hard decision for them to make. However, they were thinking about the health and safety of all involved, and personally, I took it very hard because I love being with all of you, and I want to enjoy and give you the best of continuing education that you deserve. We held our heads high and decided to bring you the best sessions virtually. Walking in uncharted water territory with schools reopening, students and teachers will be met with different challenges such as masks, face shields, smaller class sizes, plexiglass barriers, social distancing, and who knows what else. None of us really know what that looks like until you go back, and some of you have gone back. With that said, TIVA will be here for you. If you are not a member, now's the time to join. This is a legislative year, and there will be challenges to face. Take the time and go through the agenda, take the time and sit in on our lobbyist, Shannon Noble's legislative session. Shannon and I will be working on some talking points to send to the governor very soon. Please send me your thoughts and ideas on how CTE programs can survive during this scheduling nightmare. You are the experts in the trenches. What kind of creativity will it take to make your students successful and certified? And what would you like to see done? Send it to Diana at TIVA. I want to take a minute to thank the team that has put tireless hours into working on this virtual conference. And we went to our members to get their expertise. We have postponed our annual business meeting until midwinter conference. I need to tell you a few things. I want to talk about the vendor sessions. Please take a moment to go into the vendor sessions and visit them and talk to the vendors. They're very excited to be on with us today and tomorrow, and make sure that you stop in there. And yeah, I got something else to tell you. Wait a minute. Social nights. This is the big one, because you know TIVA is really big on social nights, and I just want you to know that we have 3. Tonight we have a happy hour, and you'll see it on the schedule. Tomorrow night we have a trivia night, and you'll see that on the schedule. And then Friday we have a prize auction. Now, the way you're going to be able to be eligible for all of these is you'll get tickets in your classes. Every time you join your session, we have facilitators taking roll of who's there and how long you stay. So if you're going to earn tickets through that. If you leave a class early, then you might not get a ticket. If you stay through that class, you might get 2 or 3 tickets. It just depends on if you're there. So that's how we're going to draw for these prizes. Midwinter Conference will be January the 19th through the 23rd, 2021 at the Omni Colonnade in San Antonio. We will be prepared, of course, to go virtual if need be. But we're praying it may not do, hopefully it won't do that. Thank you again for your support, and enjoy your sessions.
Thank you, Diana. You truly are an inspiration to all of us in this organization. Now, the following man has been an inspiration for many of us, not only in Texas, but across the nation and around the world. Tim Lawrence, Skills USA Executive Director Emeritus, not only believes in career and technical education, he is a product of the CTE system. As a high school welding student, Tim joined his first professional association of Skills USA, known as VICA back then, in 1967. He believed that being a CTE student set the course for a successful future. From working in the industry, teaching high school, serving on the national committee boards, and being the Skills USA Executive Director from 2001 to 2019, Mr. Timothy Lawrence has humbly been in service to career and technical education for 42 years. Please give a big Texas welcome to Mr. Timothy Lawrence.
Greetings, TIVA. Tim Lawrence here, joining you, and I'm so thrilled to be with you today, albeit via Zoom. I know that we have something in common, very much in common. We'd all rather be in Corpus, enjoying the beautiful scenery and beaches and networking face-to-face together, but these are different times. And I hope my message today will bring a little hope, maybe some inspiration, and assure you that we will get through these times as we always do. And I hope it will help you through your journey in this upcoming school year. And speaking of journeys, I want to sincerely thank you, TIVA, one of the strongest and most dynamic associations of CTE in the nation. Thank you for supporting me during my journey, from student to industry, to instructor and advisor, to state director and Department of Education leader, and finally, as your executive director of Skills USA for nearly 20 years. Thank you. I want to share a screen with you to talk a little about my topic today, and also to talk about some young people whose faces I want you to take a look at. First of all, the topic today, I'm going to be speaking about overcoming technology innovation challenges in CTE classrooms and the fear of 2020 and beyond. So I want you to take a look at this image and take a look at the date on the top left-hand corner of this slide, 2001. Take a look at the American flag, dead center amongst all the flags of 70 nations from around the world, and our students from the United States of America holding that flag amongst that group. We'll talk about this experience a little later. And then take a look at these student faces. You notice the date at the top, September 9 through 21, 2001. We were there, and I was there with these students during 9/11. We're talking about young American heroes. Young man on the far bottom right, AJ Rose, CNC student from North Carolina. Young lady top left, Keisha James, cosmetology student, New York City. And the trades represented, automotive, welding, cabinet making, carpentry, refrigeration. 7 students representing our country. So I want you to take a look at that and remember it as we go forward. So now I'll share a little with you. So glad to be with you again today for the TIVA conference. This is one of the most dynamic and, as I said, best professional development conferences with a rich array of programming to help you enhance your classrooms and your knowledge. I want to talk to you today about overcoming technology innovation challenges in your CTE classroom. And as I said in the beginning, I call this the fear of 2020 and beyond. Because when this global pandemic became a reality for us in late February to early March, many of us were not prepared for what took place. Schools shut down, classrooms went dark, but your responsibilities as instructors did not go away. In fact, you were suddenly being asked to do more with less, more one-on-one instruction, virtual instruction, Google Classrooms, Microsoft Teams, Zoom. Maybe you were already strong in these technologies and maybe you were using them daily, and maybe you were not. So suddenly educators were asked to teach differently, to be more self-reliant, to be more adaptable and flexible about learning strategies, learning times, turning in work, getting feedback, and somehow get good engagement from students who are struggling with less support, with technology issues, with fears about global health, their own health, their family, and feeling disconnected from school. But as the pandemic moved forward from March until now, in just a few months, we've learned a lot as teachers, refining what we know to be true with students and readjusting again and again as we individually and collectively figured out what works with our students and for our technical programs. Let me start with this disclaimer. I'm not an expert in technology, and I haven't taught in the classroom in many years. I began my career after time in industry. I was a welding instructor and taught for nearly a decade before moving on to state Skills USA leadership, and then moving to the national headquarters of Skills USA, where I proudly served as your executive directors for nearly 20 years. In fact, I was retiring mid-February, just as this COVID crisis ensued. What I do want to share with you today, and what every teacher can apply to every classroom, is the need for digging deep and finding your own resilience, your own adaptability, your own flexibility. More than any technology, these essential skills will see you through this teaching crisis and many more. And just like they say on airplanes, you need to put on your own oxygen before helping others. I want to share with you, as I promised I would, a time of another crisis. Back in September 2001, I was serving as the team leader for a group of American CTE students called Team USA, competing in the World Skills International Competition. And this crisis of 9/11 shook the world. It shook me personally. It changed things for a long time. And it affected the students I was mentoring in world competition. This team that I was with, we were in Seoul, Korea, by the Hong River in the Hong Hotel. At 11 p.m., AJ Rowe, the CNC student from North Carolina, came to my room and said, "Mr. Lawrence, are you watching TV? Something's happening back home." I said, "No, AJ, what's up?" So as that ensued, all other students, 6 students, 7 total, came to my room. We stayed up all night long and we watched in horror as both trade centers came down. We watched the news reports about Pennsylvania, about the Pentagon, and those students didn't know, nor did I know, what was happening with our families. Cell phones were down, landlines didn't work, phones would not work, planes were not flying. I asked the students to make a decision. I said, "Students, I want you to go away into another room, talk about this. They tell us the planes will probably start flying in a couple of weeks. Make the decision. Do you want to stay and compete, or do you want to travel home when the planes start flying?" They walked away from me and came back in about 2 minutes and said, "Mr. Lawrence, we're staying. We're representing our country. That's why we're here." Luckily, our families were okay, as we found out 2 to 3 days later. But as those students moved around Seoul, Korea, wearing the American flag on their left shoulder, wearing the red, white, and blue, carrying the American flag, the stars and stripes, everyone was asking. The news media was thrusting cameras into their face and microphones saying, "Who do you think did this to your country? What should the United States do to retaliate?" And all our students would say, not with coaching, no coaching from me, was, "We're just hoping and praying that our families and our country back home are okay." That was a time like no other. These students were on the Seoul, Korea news. They were in the newspapers, but they went ahead and competed 4 straight days against 70 other countries. Came back with more medals percentage-wise than any other team we've ever taken to the World Skills Competition since the 70s. So proud of this group of young American heroes. And they came back to a different world. This team stayed. They competed. They were proud. And what we saw in them through this personal and national crisis, or I would like to believe, it's my belief that their ability to overcome the challenges is why they succeeded. My mentorship of these students, my role as their coach, I could not fix the problem. I could not reassure them that everything was going to be okay, or when it would be okay, but I could assure them that we were in it together. I could assure them daily, hourly, that I was there to support them and to help problem solve as we work through the situation together. And this still works today in every classroom, in every training program. And whether you're a teacher with 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, or even 20 years of experience, students succeed with encouragement, with support, with motivation, and your smiling belief in their ability to deliver on learning. But back to my story. Following 9/11, there was a major economic crisis in the U.S. It affected communities, it affected schools, families, and individual students. Whether you're looking at physical damage or indirect effects, calculating the economic toll of the 9/11 terrorist attacks make you realize how much it changed the American way of life. When you factor in the loss of equipment, infrastructure, utilities, injury, value of life, and cleanup, the physical toll of the September 11th attacks was $62.2 billion in today's dollars. These are according to adjusted numbers from the New York Times. Even more alarming, between 2001 and 2010, the airline industry suffered losses totaling $74 billion. The effects of 9/11 on air travel, of course, continue to be felt today, with the cost of TSA falling on American taxpayers. For 2020, the TSA's estimated budget is $7.7 billion. Increased security at airports means extra waiting time, more restrictions, taking off our shoes or belts and moving everything through conveyor belts on bins. We didn't do any of that before, but we learned new ways. We adapted. The economy was hurt badly, but it did gradually recover over time, and we adjusted to the new normal. Some of your students might think of 9/11 as something in the history books. This time is etched in my mind because of the rapid shift of the world and the need to adjust. I tell you this not to bring you down, but to remind you that 9/11 was devastating to Americans and to the way of life we knew. But gradually we did adapt to new security protocols, to new ways to do things, and we moved forward individually and as a nation. There was pain, there was loss of life, there was widespread fear, but as humans always do, we sought out moments of optimism and we adapted. I liken 9/11 to this pandemic because this is similar in many ways, causing economic stress on schools and families, causing long-term health risks and issues, causing loss of life, and building up fear. It changed everything about life as we knew it. Maybe not in an instant or in a few minutes, but very quickly over a matter of weeks and months. Now leaving our homes requires a new kind of suiting up with masks and sanitizer and protocols we follow to keep ourselves and others safe. But we're showing once again, we're adapting, we're resilient, and we are flexible. My challenge to each of you today is to use this sudden disruption, the pandemic, as a catalyst to be a better teacher, as a catalyst to learn new technologies, as a catalyst to become the best teacher you can possibly be. Not something to endure, but a time of personal and professional change where you push yourself to raise your level of instruction and embrace every technology. For many CTE teachers, they're used to teaching a hands-on, face-to-face skill in the lab or classroom. They show students how to build, how to wire, how to weld, how to draft, and it's very much a face-to-face endeavor. When you're teaching through a computer, how do you demonstrate a skill and know a student has mastered it? You know, how do you build the relationship that causes students to work harder and do better in school? There are so many technologies available to you. Your schools may have preferences, but we're on Zoom now and it's amazing. And it allows not only meetings, lectures, and demonstrations, but you can also break out into smaller groups using breakout rooms. These breakout rooms can be used for small group learning and reporting back to the whole class. Or for your Skills USA chapter to break up and meet as committees to plan your program of work. So with Zoom, you can always make invitations. You can invite a guest speaker from industry to talk with your class without taking up half their day. They only need a laptop, Zoom, and an hour of their time to explain new technologies, give a virtual plant tour, talk about employment opportunities, or coach students preparing for competitions. Microsoft Teams allows you to establish multiple channels for communication. You can chat with other teachers on individual channels. You can set up learning groups with small groups of students to share resources or ask questions, or have video calls, post documents. Teachers can use resources like Kahoot for game-based learning and trivia. You can create, or even have your students create, multiple choice games related to class content. Students can take online quizzes. You know, smart sheets we use a lot. Smart sheets are like Excel on steroids, and you can share work, edit documents, provide attachments, and make assignments. You can create interact polls using Poll Everywhere or Slido and have students answer questions. You can have students search their own home environments or those of family members for safety hazards, maybe looking inside their own home for wiring issues, HVAC issues, or other real-life scenarios that relate to their trade area. If using these newer virtual teaching strategies feels clumsy, just remember how your students feel when they first hold a tool or learn a new skill. Like you tell your students, practice and repetition will make you comfortable. This summer is a great time to make a list of technology new to you and practice with your colleagues. Set up lessons. Get creative on how you can teach and test your skills and on ways to be highly efficient for the time you're in the classroom. This new world also gives you a great opportunity to push students to step up and use the new technology or help you figure out lesson plans and skill tests. They will enjoy the challenge, I guarantee it. You can meet with student leaders from your Skills USA chapter or your CTSO on Zoom to start planning activities for next year. Have them explore ways they can use their skills to give back to the community, whether that's a socially distanced food drive or a car care clinic. As you use the technology, though, do remember that human connection is the driving factor behind learning. Relationships matter. They matter with your administration. They matter with your fellow teachers, and they especially matter with your students. Build in some time for conversation, for students' virtual hangouts, to share with each other, and allow some relationships to build. Assign small groups work or breakouts so students interact with others. And don't forget to get your students away from the computer and doing things hands-on. They can video themselves demonstrating a skill. They can give a talk about a project or a skill they're working on. They can interview an industry partner in their field. Educators, my biggest fear for the future isn't how we'll get through this pandemic. We will. I worry about education moving away from a traditional classroom setting in which a teacher interacts with students on a daily basis. I think that will be a colossal and catastrophic mistake. I worry about a trend in this country that before the quarantine, modern students seem to be isolating themselves more. They're going to fewer football games. Students are dating less. They're engaging in more online socializing, more than any generation in American history. I worry that even before the coronavirus lockdown, students were more likely to suffer from anxiety or mental health conditions than any other generation. Rates of depression, anxiety, they were already rising. I worry that students are losing out on needed structure and safe places. Physically attending school requires getting up, interacting with other students, and fostering relationships with teachers. Often school provides a place for emotional support, for safety, and for meals for students with unstable families or economic challenges. School can be a refuge for these children. But using Google Classroom does not empower a teacher to keep a struggling student after class, to ask that student what's wrong. YouTube videos can't make eye contact or gauge a student's level of engagement. Zoom meetings will never capture the nature of powerful teaching that exists on a personal level. Yet we live in a world and in a time where the most important adult relationship for many school-age children is with you, with their teacher. When I began teaching many years ago, I never imagined I would have students tell me, "No one else cares about my success like you do, Mr. Lawrence." I never thought my students would ask me to attend senior awards assemblies because they had no other adult likely to show up. So I do worry about school becoming permanently, quote, more remote. I've always found that the beauty of the classroom, the source of transformation, it's all rooted in people gathered in the same place at the same time. The best teachers have a capacity to forge connections with their students, inspire their best efforts, and engage them in meaningful ways. So please, for the sake of your children and their futures, don't mistake the power of technology for the power of an effective teacher. Technology is just another teaching tool. That's all it is. Having said that, explore your classroom management tools and your collaboration tools. Find them, share them, practice them before school resumes in the fall. Schools are really all coming up with unique solutions for busing, lunch, instruction, and group activities. These differ school to school or district to district, state to state. Whether it's staggered classes markings on the floors or walls to remind us of social distancing. It's all going to feel weird and it's going to feel new. Don't be that teacher who fights the change or complains about it. Embrace it, ask how you can help, and explore all that's new with an open and curious mind. Most of us fear what we don't know or don't understand. So give yourself time to think about this new way of teaching. Develop and test your fall plans, and don't overly complicate your curriculum to the point that it's frustrating for you or for the students. Help students become self-sufficient by assigning roles to support each other on both technology and learning. Powerful teaching is about an adult believing us, showing us a higher path. This should happen in the classroom. It happens on the job. It can happen across the internet in your virtual classroom. If some of us see stars, you know, folks, it's because a teacher tilted our heads toward the heavens. They didn't tell us what to see, but they guided us on where to look. You're those teachers that we look up to and that students look up to when they see the stars in the skies. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for being an educator. Thanks for caring about your school, your community, and especially your students. It's been an honor and a pleasure to speak with you today, and I look forward to your questions and comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. And live on our Zoom call is Mr. Timothy Lawrence. So let's go to a Zoom chat right now so he can visit with us.
Any questions or comments, anything I can answer for you? It's such a pleasure to be with you. Big thanks to Bart, to Diana, to Shannon, to Brenda, to the entire TIVA group for having me today. And thanks for all that you do. Can I answer any questions or take any comments?
Hey, Tim, this is Ernest.
Hey, Ernest.
Hope you had time to ride your bike, from one biker to another. Thank you for everything you said and really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Ernest. Yeah, I've ridden it a little, been on the water a lot. You know, my wife and I took an RV trip all the way down to Key West in February, right after retirement, and came back when this thing broke. And it's been a different world ever since, but we're doing well. Hope you all are doing well. And, you know, one thing I said during those comments was make sure that those individual students are getting your attention. You know, have some one-on-one conversations with them, have some chats with individual students. Make time to do that. They need you right now.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions or comments? I know this conference is moving forward, so I don't want to stand in your way, Bart. All right. Thanks again so much, everyone. Enjoy the rest of the summer and good luck in this coming school year. If I can help you in any way, just reach out. And you can still grab me on Skills USA email, and I'm always available. So let me know if I can help you. Take care.
Thank you, Tim. You have made such a profound impact on so many students, teachers, and simply the world of career and technical education. Please know that you are appreciated and loved by all of us here in Texas. Thank you for all that you have done and will continue to do on your next adventures. TIVA is over 800 members strong, including professional, associate, retired, honorary, and industrial membership. I would be remiss if I didn't say a few words about your outstanding board of directors. They have worked diligently, tirelessly, and met challenges along the way to promote excellence for our beloved organization. Over the past year, the executive board and the board of directors have accomplished many great strides for TIVA, but there is one in particular that I'm excited to introduce to everyone today. It is our duty as a board to ensure the vision and mission of this organization and to make decisions that will guide us towards making an impact in career and technical education, while striving for success in our teachers. To do so, the current board of directors has established a new 10-year strategic plan outlined as the TIVA Target 2030. TIVA Target 2030 will have an impact on CTE across the state of Texas in an effort to support, inspire, and empower its educators. Our vision will help create opportunities for success in our teachers and their classrooms by meeting the needs of educators and creating an unparalleled professional development experience for our members. TIVA will have a direct benefit on school districts and their communities across the Lone Star State. The TIVA strategic plan vision for 2030 is outlined under these headings: foundation, influence, experience, and service. Additionally, a new vision statement was created and a new mission statement enacted. Our new vision: empowering career and technical educators to develop innovative, relevant programs that embody excellence, instill lifelong learning, and promote economic and professional readiness for all students. Our new mission: to ensure the impact and advancement of career and technical education in Texas, TIVA is committed to providing cutting-edge, robust professional development and instructional mentorship, promoting visionary leadership development and advocacy at the local, state, and national levels that enrich the lives of all learners, and cultivating a customizable experience that embodies service, industrial partnerships, community, and best practices in curriculum and instruction. To define the foundation of TIVA, we will establish financial solvency, develop an executive director succession plan, increase utilization of ACTE resources, strengthen professional networking with business and industry partners, enact membership goals trying to reach over 1,000 members by 2030, and increase TIVA affiliate inclusion in conference planning. To build a solid influence by TIVA, we'll have a unified voice for career and technical education, increase presence at Texas schools and in the Texas Education Agency, increase presence in legislative policies including local, state, and national levels, increase social media outreach, increased marketing outreach, membership presence within TEKS and curriculum committees. To continue to enhance the experience in TIVA, we will develop a new TIVA teacher conference, establish a TIVA mentorship program. We will continue to excellence as the premier choice for CTE professional development. We will continue to host a midwinter and summer conference. We will continue partnerships in support of Skills USA Texas, continue support of certification opportunities, cultivate professional networking opportunities with CTE educators, and cultivate professional networking opportunities with industry partners. We want to promote leadership development at local, state, and national levels, and we want to embody a sense of community and family. And finally, to continue to promote service in TIVA, we will increase our participation in student and teacher scholarships and grants, establish new scholarship programs, and provide avenues for service opportunities and collaboration. A copy of the TIVA Target 2030 Strategic Plan will be made available in the virtual conference resources and will be published on our website at www.tiva.org. Let's please welcome back Brenda Drawdy, your current TIVA past president.
Thank you, Bart. I'm excited for the work that has spawned from the strategic plan, and I am invigorated for the direction that it provides for TIVA. That is why I am so excited to announce that TIVA, with the support from TEA, will now offer a new CTE teacher conference that will make its debut in September. We will offer vital training for new CTE teachers, supporting them with sessions such as special education in CTE, TEKS, Perkins funding, student organization breakouts, school law policy and ethics, and classroom management. All of the essential tools needed to understand and survive in the world of education. Our hope is that this conference will become the premier new CTE teacher conference in Texas. But even if it helps just a few teachers, it will be worth it. This is all work that has been derived and aligned to the TIVA Target 2030 strategic plan.
Additionally, TIVA will establish a new TIVA store, where all of our proceeds will go towards funding new scholarships for students and teachers. We will offer items to make our teachers not only the most fashionable within the state, but also give us opportunities to show support for a cause or areas of interest. Dr. Taylor lost one of his Texas mamas, Mrs. Donna Lou Harrison, to breast cancer. So to have an opportunity where TIVA can wear pink to to support breast cancer awareness simply warms our heart. Additionally, TIVA can even show support for hunter safety and show items in hunter safety orange, again, with all profits going towards scholarships. The TIVA store, just like the new teacher conference, is all work that has been derived and aligned to the new TIVA Target 2030 strategic plan.
We simply have the best interest of our members in mind, and we want to assure that TIVA is the right choice for all of your educational needs. I know that some of you sometimes know that we say TIVA, and sometimes we say TIVA, and you may be wondering which is the correct way to say it. Well, officially, it's both. We are the Texas Industrial Vocational Association, and no matter which way you say it, people know who you are talking about. But many of you may wonder why we still use the term vocational in our name and not CTE. Well, back a few years ago, and actually still today, there was this stigma about the term vocational education. And there was a time where it was just brewing in academia, and that mixed with the impact that technology was having on the world, some people thought it would be a great idea to recoin the term vocational education and turn it into career and technical education, so that it would be more inclusive of a rigorous education. Even ACTE, our Association for Career and Technical Education, used to be named the AVA, the American Vocational Association. However, every national act that was signed into law that helped shape the face of career and technical education, such as the Smith-Hughes National Vocational Act of 1917, all the way to the Carl D. Perkins Vocational Educational Act of 1984, all embraced the term vocational. I'm here today to tell you that it is okay to use the term vocational. Embrace who we are and what we do. This is indeed an era of change, innovation, adaptability, and flexibility. However, to me, now is a time more than ever to be proud of vocational education. I call it neo-vocationalism. It's time we honor skilled and technical education and understand how essential and vital our vocational teachers and our courses are in this country and to our economy. You, as a vocational educator, make a difference by being a part of this amazing organization, and I want you to know it. We are here as TIVA, the Texas Industrial Vocational Association, a community of career and technical educators that have a commitment and a promise to uphold each other, to promote success, and to celebrate the love of learning. You make a difference. And thank you for joining the 2020 TIVA Virtual Conference. You know, we're doing our best efforts to show you a homegrown version of a virtual conference. We could have spent the money to pay an organization to host this for us, but we wanted to showcase tools that you have together online for you as an educator. Tools like Zoom and Schoology and all the different things that you're going to see from these presentations. I think it feels good to showcase these and show you what we can do in these times of the pandemic and a virtual environment. So thank you again for joining this virtual conference. And don't forget to stop by and visit the virtual sessions in the virtual exhibit hall. But ultimately, I want to see you in the evenings at our social events. But I hope that you will learn, grow, and be energized for this upcoming school year. Thank you all for attending. At this time, the 2020 opening session is adjourned.